So one of the things that I focus on whenever I speak to parents and do parent programs is the importance that they have, right? As being a parent, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of low socioeconomic status, regardless of just like Elizabeth mentioned in my bio, both my parents, they immigrated to the United States illegally, illegally to the United States in the 1970s. And even with that, right, one of the things that I like to stress about parents, if you ask any, and most of the time that I work with parents, I work with Latino parents, but, if I work with parents of, who are minority parents or parents who come from places or ethnicities that have, been disenfranchised and just been underrepresented in higher ed, because that's where my passion lies in wanting to make sure that students of color are able to be successful. But when I speak to them, I want to let them know that regardless of the lack of educational background, that what they do as parents is still important. And so that's not just, I don't just say that because I read it in a book. I don't just say that because, I studied it. I say that because I see that as a true testament of what my mom did in my life, And so again, the question that's always posed is, why did you come to the United States? When I'm working with, Hispanic parents who traditionally weren't born here in the United States. And I kid you not, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, the answer is the same: for a better opportunity or for a better job, And so I believe that our students know that. I believe that our students, they recognize that their parents, immigrated to this country or came to this country. And what they want is they want better opportunity. They want a better life. So even knowing all that, I think sometimes, parents, Latino parents can come with the mindset that, what, maybe what I do isn't that important because I can't help my son with his homework. I can't help my daughter, with how to get to college, so it's important that they realize that regardless of those things, right, that they may see as obstacles, it's important for them to know that, what they do is important. So I don't want to stay with the screen. I want to be able to see you as well. And I want you to be able to see me as well. So let me go ahead and pose this question. So if I was asking the question, why is education important? ¿Por qué es importante la educación? What do you think your parents would tell you? Why is education important?
One of the things I always share with districts, I sat down with a family, and the dad told me they can take everything away from us. They can take away this house, they can take the car, everything, and deport us. But they won't take away what's in their mind, the education that they have gotten, and I'm giving that to my daughters. And it was so powerful. And I just share that all the time with our districts when we go out and we talk to districts about our program. That's one of the things that Elizabeth and Romana, the team shares.
Okay.
The importance of education to our families.
Okay.
That's what our parents are telling us.
Very good. So thank you, Monica. So Monica said, you can't take that away. You can strip a person of everything, but you can't strip them of their experience and their education. Very good. Anybody else? Now come with me, all right? Because I feed off energy. So
I want to share that when I know that this is something that my dad used to tell us, te abre el horizonte, you look, so the world becomes smaller by getting an education and knowing places, se abre el horizonte, right? So that's something that stayed with me.
All right, very good. Thank you, Romana.
My response would be to get a better job.
Okay.
To advance in whatever particular occupation that you're pursuing.
Very good, very good. So is there anybody else? I want to make sure that I give everybody an opportunity to respond. No, you guys are a tough group. Y'all ready to get off? No, I'm messing. All right, here we go. So you guys said, Monica said, you can't take it away, right? That's the power of education. No one can ever take that away, right? And that's so true. And it's important that not just education in the school setting, but think about experiences that you've gone through. Think about lessons that you've learned in life, right? I truly believe that life is the best teacher out of everything, you know, not to knock my professor in college or not to knock my, you know, high school algebra teacher, but the best professor is life. The best professor is experience. And so think about those lessons that you've learned. Like no one can ever take that away from you. Once you've experienced something and gone through something like that really changes you, that really transforms your life, you'll never be the same and no one can take that away from you. So that's the power of education, right? And if you think about it, the root word of education comes from the Latin word to draw out, right? You know, it comes to draw out. So when I think about that, and I've shared this in trainings before, it's like, what is it that we're trying to draw out from our students? What is it that we're trying to draw out from our kids, right? Now I have a daughter, so I'm going to talk a lot about my daughter. I hope you guys don't mind, right? Like I'm a sociology professor at a community college here in Dallas, and I like saying that my daughter is like my little sociology experiment or whatnot. But I have a daughter, so in terms of education, right? Even though I'm not her specific teacher, even though, you know, she doesn't come to class with me, there's still things that I can teach her, right? There's still things that I can draw out from her. And so that's the power of education, right? You think about the social support that I provide for my kids or that you provide as parents, as uncles, as aunts, right? And so again, what you're doing is drawing out that potential. What you're doing is drawing out that gift. And that's the most beautiful thing about education. You can read something and you can be like, wow, this is what I want to do. Or you can watch a video and you can like, yo, this is what I want to do. Or you can be involved in a STEAM camp, or you can be involved in an engineering camp, robotic camp. And all of a sudden your life has changed, because that's the power of education, the experience that it gives you. So I love that you said that, Monica. Now, the second thing was to open up the possibilities, right? The el horizonte, I'm saying it correctly, right? All right, so the horizonte, right? Just opening up the possibilities. And one of the middle schools that I worked at when I was assistant principal, our motto was endless possibilities. You know, just understanding that when students walk into our building, the simple fact that they're in our school, the simple fact that they're on our campus lets them know that, hey, there's a world of endless possibilities for you, endless opportunities for you. So again, that's the beauty of education. But I can't negate what Elizabeth said too. You know, you ask a college student, hey, why are you coming to school? And they'll say, better job, more money. In fact, sociology talks about the function, right? So there's a theory called Functionalist Theory. And in that theory, it talks about, okay, there's the manifest function. Well, manifest is what are you wanting to see? So when we look at education as an institution, what is it that you want to see? And most of the time, students will say, I want a better job. That's what I want. You know, I want money. They don't come just for the knowledge. Like I always tell my students, I'm like, hey, y'all don't come to an 8 a.m. class just because I'm a cool teacher. You know, you come because this is a class that works best with your schedule. This is a class that allows you to you know, take my, you know, a sociology credit or whatever, and then get to go to work. So students are motivated, right? Because I want to go to college because according to society, that's the step. That's the step that I have to take to be successful. That's the step that I have to take to earn a good job. And so I'm glad you said that, because I want to share this real cool statistic real quick. So this statistic says, so we talked about why is education important? Well, let's look at this. Okay. Now it's in Spanish, but we're going to make it work.
AC,
Yes.
we also had Robin share in the chat, and there is joy in learning.
There's joy in learning. All right. Thank you for sure. Can you see my joy as I'm speaking? Well, now you can't because you're seeing the screen, but yeah, for sure. There's joy in learning. There's joy. I mean, think about, for those of you who have kids, right? When you see your son or daughter learn something new, again, there's that joy, there's that excitement of them saying, hey, you know, I got it. But let's look at this statistic right here. En 2015, según el Departamento de Trabajo de los Estados Unidos, el 65% de los empleos que mantendremos en 10 años aún no se han creado. So what does that mean? That in 2015, I was at research that said, look, 65% of the jobs that are going to be in 2025 haven't even been created. And when you think about that, right, when you think about what's going on right now with the pandemic and how everything is kind of shifted digital, now companies are saying, hey, do we even need to bring our employees in? So what's going to happen to our students if they don't know how to, you know, work collaboratively on a computer screen. What's going to happen? So things are changing, right? Jobs are going to disappear in the next 5 to 10 years. I like telling my students, if you think about it, 10 years ago, there was no Uber. 10 years ago, there was no Spotify, right? I mean, do you guys still have those CDs? Like I spent like thousands and thousands of dollars on CDs. I'm so mad at myself. But anyways, so think about all the things that will be created in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's important for our students to be up to date, right? To be up to date. It's important for our parents to know that, hey, they got to get on it. Okay. And so let's talk, let's